Hey guys, so this is a different type of video. As you can see, I am a bit dressed up. I'm trying to do like a lot of things today, like in terms of video. And don't watch my glasses, these are not the actual frame for them, but cheap girl stuff.
Ooh! Ah, the ghetto! The ghetto! The ghetto!
Anyway, so yeah, today I wanted to talk about why I chose the degree I chose, which is BA Media and Communications. Yeah, it's a mouthful. BA Media and Communications. So I chose this degree for a number of reasons. Because let me tell you this, your girl was and still is a dreamer. I'm a dreamer. Yeah. Growing up, I wanted to be a doctor, a journalist, a pilot, the whole shebang. Literally. I wanted to be an Einstein. Yeah. I wanted to secure my place in history. I still do. And so basically, I've always been someone who loved history, loved English, language, literature. GCSE grades didn't reflect any of the progress that I made during school in terms of academia. I was always someone that got like A's. Well, they did like a number system when I was at school. So when I took my GCSEs in 2018, I was getting 8s and stuff in English, 8s, 7s. So A's, A stars, B's. And then I got my grades back in August of 2018, and I didn't get what I wanted. And then I came to sixth form. I chose to study health and social care at sixth form. Just to give you some context as to why I chose the degree I chose. So I studied health and social care, extended diploma, so that counted for 2 A-levels. And if you're not in the UK, A-levels are basically that step before higher education, before university. And as well as health and social care, I chose media. So more context, at GCSE, I got A in media. That was the only thing I got an A in. And I never failed any of my GCSEs, but I never got the grades that I expected.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
Listen, man.
So I got an A in media, and then, so basically, I was discussing with my sister and my dad and my mom, and they were like, why don't you just do that, media, and then health and social care, or like a BTEC. And I was like, yeah, that's true, like I could do something simpler. And then fast forward, at sixth form now, I actually performed really well at sixth form. Like I worked so hard, like it was like that was motivation, not getting what I wanted at GCSE to get what I wanted at sixth form. Like I worked so hard to get 2 distinctions. Distinction star, that's the highest of the high that you can get in a BTEC. And a BTEC is like a vocational course. It's not, it's more, the grading system and stuff is different, but you're still getting a qualification at the end of the day. And I got the highest of the highest grade. If you search me on the internet, and if you search my school, you'll find me. If you know what school I've gone to, you'll find me there. You'll find what they put up about me and how I got that grade. So that took a lot of revision, that took a lot of discipline. And at this time as well, I wasn't really established at church. I hadn't given my life to Christ. I wouldn't call myself a Christian at that time, but I just thank God that I was able to work hard and perform well. And in media, I got a B because COVID. So sixth form, I got my grades in 2020, and because in August, even April, there was so much information released on how we were going to be graded. I basically didn't get to sit exam for media because of COVID. And so it was just like predicted grades, all my assignments and stuff that I was doing, the project that I was doing, which was like a film project about Windrush, that was like graded, but nothing else, like no exam. And I managed to get into uni. Originally I wanted to study nursing or teaching at uni.
Let's take a roll here. Jay Quallen.
But I discussed with my dad, and he was like, I really don't want you to go for an industry, like a professional, be a professional in something that you don't truly enjoy. And I'm not saying nursing or teaching is awful, because I'm still thinking about getting into teaching, but at that point I knew what he was talking about. And in terms of the academia that was needed, I didn't even know if I was ready, and didn't really pray about it. And that's what I've learned, in terms of my career, the simple things that you need to go to God. And I just thank God that I am in Christ now. So came to uni, So this was like when I was like 19, 20. My sister invited me to church. I did go a couple times, but then I only started going in like 2020. Like we were all online. I'd started attending services. I was really present. And then in 2021, I gave my life to Christ, like properly this time. And I remember joining departments at church. And so basically what happened was that my dad was discussing with me that he doesn't want me to go into an industry I don't like. And I was telling him what I do like. I do like media. I've always been someone that's interested in media, tech, development, history, how the world is today, how we're moving, stuff like that. So, I decided to do media and communications as my undergraduate degree. I'm in my final year now. What I can say about my degree is that because it's 50% practice, 50% theory, media and communications, it's all encompassing really. So media can be radio, photography, TV, journalism, interactive media, meaning like web design and all that stuff, and then it can also be animation. But what I specialized in, and screen fiction as well, I specialize in documentary filmmaking. So this is my final year of being at uni. You have to specialize in a specific field of media, right? And that's what I'm doing. I like documentary filmmaking because it was that, or journalism, because it's visual. I love that visual aspect. It was either between, creative writing, documentary filmmaking, or journalism. The reason why I chose journalism is because it's got that visual aspect. I'm not saying that this is my like weakness, but the writing aspect, I love to write, I love to read, love linguistics, literature, all that stuff. But when it comes to me and how I perform best in a certain time frame, because uni's about deadlines and reaching your deadlines, I decided to not take those written pathways and stuff to specialize in my degree. I decided to do documentary film and actually be a part of a team, because this is my final project, and what we had to do is choose a specific idea from the people in the class. We all came up with our different ideas. Mine was about gardening. I'm still gonna make that, by the way, Afro diaspora gardening. The person's idea that I chose, and the team that I chose to be in, was about the wives of rock stars, their lives as women, kind of being in the, not being in the limelight, being in the shadows as women, how things go, and how they were wives of these influential people, but they also had things that they were doing, charity work. They also established themselves in many other ways and done many other things that we wouldn't know because they weren't in the limelight, as we had seen their husbands, because they're wives. And I'm just really, really happy that God has put me on this degree, because it's really sparked my interest in things that I never knew I was even interested in. So with history, because I love history and stuff, being a part of that film, being a part of that project, and finding out about people's lives, like my friend's grandma, she was the wife of John Mayall. How else would I have known that if I didn't do this? I just thank God, because he's put these people there for a reason. And then I traveled to the other lady's house, got to film in the countryside of London. The countryside, that's so amazing. That opportunity to even go there was really amazing, and getting to see her way of life. So much archive, so much footage of her life and her time, her experience, being with a rock star. All those pieces of art in her house and everything. It was just like walking into what I've always wanted to see. That kind of part of life. It's I love the era that I've grown up in, the generation, but I feel like there's so much to take from the past, and walking into her home and seeing all that history right in front of me, that was the best experience I ever had. Being on this specific part of everything, this specific uni as well, Goldsmiths University, that's where I am. It's just been amazing. I know there've been strikes throughout my degree, throughout me being on this degree, but I'd say that because the senior management team and the workers, there's been so much going on. I don't really want to talk about much of that, but I know that it's not been easy for the lecturers and the staff here. It's not been a simple decision that they've had to come to, and it did affect my learning, having to learn more independently on top of learning independently, being at higher education. That was not easy.
Wow, the pressure is getting worse. Hey.
So I'd say that one piece of advice I would give to people is that make friends. I know it's hard because everyone, you're at higher education, and that usually means at the higher the institution, the more responsibility, obviously as an adult, they're not going to teach you like how they taught you when you were 18, 17 and under. So I'd say make friends. There's been so many valued friendships I've made on this course, so many things I've learned from other people, not even the staff and the lecturers that are supposed to teach me. I found the most free, easy to use website to do my bibliographies from a friend, and I'm just so happy because I've learned to not overpressure myself, especially with my grades as well. It's like the harder I think about doing an essay, the less work I even do to like complete that essay. Like I don't even know if that makes sense. It's like I'd overthink an essay. I wouldn't even plan. Like say my essay's in April and I'm starting to write 2 weeks before, but it's like I feel like because I've done the readings and stuff, like that will equip me. Like no, I learned that active learning, you actually have to go engage with that topic, take notes, further notes, do the further readings. Like there's just so much more to indulge in higher education. And I did actually get one of my modules questions, which is due in April, one of my final pieces of assignment, and I'm gonna start it. And not just because I want to finish early, but because I want to learn. I'm here to learn. I chose to do this degree. I want to learn something. I mean, being on documentary filmmaking, I said, I want to be good at editing. You can't just expect to be good. I wish I could have spent more time coming in, editing. I don't know if you can see the Mac computers behind me, the Mac. But yeah, I wish I could have done that. I really wish I could. But also my family situation, my family circumstances, and caring for my brother every now and again and all that stuff. I mean, that's just my personal experience. But I wish I definitely could have edited more, come in, engage with people more, been a part of more clubs. Because my church, we did actually have a campus fellowship, like a place where Christians could gather, and I was actually supposed to lead that, but I wasn't chanced to do that. That doesn't mean that I still can't serve in my capacity and show Christ and display Christ to people being at uni. I still evangelize, but I really wish I could have been a part of more things, and even just sports and other clubs and stuff. I did want to join the cheerleading society, but it's called Goldsmiths Lions, but it would clash with my ministry and going to church and stuff, so couldn't do that. But there's still other things that you can do. Like when you're at uni, I'd say more advice is to make alliances for life, network. My career service always has stuff going on, always. I sign up, sometimes I don't go. I've been to CV writing a workshop, and then thank God I've done a work placement as well, like at a news agency and stuff, so I've seen how the industry is, like what I want to get into, media. I loved it. I loved my work placement. I'd say also with extenuating circumstances and stuff, my uni at some point were really good with listening to students and how they're struggling and stuff like that and giving extensions. But now I'm in my final year, it seems like they're just really like get things done, and if you don't submit on the link, we're not going to be like last year where you could just get an extension and like resubmit. They're even like rejecting, like they're rejecting like certain requests because of the policy has changed, things changed. But that's not to say my uni's bad, but it's just teaching me that get it done. Just get it done. So yeah, just get things done, guys, and find what works for you. I'm not gonna say that you have to learn a specific way, but depending on how you are as a learner, auditory, a visual learner like me, I think I'm even both, and is it kinesthetic or whatever, like movement learner. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the learning that you're doing. Don't see it as a burden, because I used to see it as a burden, and that used to affect the work that I'd produce. Even when I do my readings, I'd find something that relates to that topic that I like. Like with Race, Empire, Nation, one of my modules. So I always knew that there was a scramble for Africa, like the whole continent of Africa, how it was colonized, etc. But when it came to the Caribbean, on that module, the lecturer showed us a video about the Caribbean scramble, as you'd say, and that aspect of things within, South America, that aspect, and seeing how these powers came to these places, even up to this day. Like, who's got independence? What countries have independence, type of thing. So, like, being on that module, like, it just opened my eyes. It was like, you like history, hey, like, look at this, like, read this or do this more. And so, like, being especially in a creative industry, creative field, creative study, degree, whatever you want to call it, I'd say it's all about your perseverance. How much do you want to go? How far do you want to learn? Like, that's the question I'm always asking myself. Like, do you want to take responsibility for your learning? Like, I'm not saying that you have to go to uni, but any learning that you do, it involves that hard work. Any learning, even if you like don't go to uni, if you're doing apprenticeship, internship, whatever thing that you're doing, I just think that sometimes you just need to take that responsibility, and it's training, but making the most use of your time. There's times I browse social media when I could actually be reading a book for like 5-10 minutes. So I've gone back into my reading. Yeah, I've gone back into my reading bag. Yep. So simultaneously, I'm actually reading two things. I'm reading Girl A. This is like, what would I describe it as? I wouldn't say psychological thriller or anything like that, but it reminds me of so many other like films and books, and the character, well, I'd say Girl A, her mindset, she didn't have the best of upbringings. I'm not trying to spoil the book. She didn't have the best of upbringings, but I love how it started. I love the like back and forth. It's like, this is how I was raised, this happened to me, but this is where I am right now. And it's like film flashbacks and all that stuff. Great book. Whack myself in the face. Great book. So yeah. And then also, we're throwing it back. It's a vintage classic books. Robert Louis Stevenson. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is actually what I studied, fun fact, at GCSE. So when I was at secondary school, high school, I studied this. It was so interesting when I was studying it. We've gone to the theatre. We went there to the Globe Theatre and watched so many Shakespeare plays and stuff. I just liked learning. Like, I couldn't get enough of English, and that's the reason I didn't balance my secondary education, the high school stuff, very well. I picked what I wanted to revise and go over, and the topics that I liked, and that's why I got like mediocre grades, because I wasn't good at balance. When it came to practice papers and practicing what I've learned, didn't do that. But obviously, like, as it got to the point where I needed to do the exams, I had to manage better. So that's why I was able to disperse and not get like one really good grade and one like really bad grade. So yeah, this book, I actually haven't finished it. There's other short stories as well, but Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is actually like one of my, this book exposed me to more like vintage texts and like the origins of things that we see today. Horror stories, thriller. Amazing. This is like foundational. You want to throw it back. Foundational. Yeah. So I could actually read the blurb. It says, Dr. Jekyll has been experimenting with his identity. He has developed a drug which separates the two sides of his nature and allows him to occasionally abandon himself to his most corrupt inclinations as the monstrous Mr. Hyde. But gradually he begins to find that the journey back to goodness becomes more and more difficult, and the risk that Mr. Hyde will break free entirely from Dr. Jekyll's control puts all of London in grave peril. And then it says, see also Dracula. I mean, I'm not a horror babe. I don't really like horror and all that stuff. And also, as a Christian, why am I going to sit there and indulge in horror? Which links to hell? Which links to the devil? Hey, no. But when it comes to writing and the way that this is written, as someone who does film, as someone who's interested in history and the art of things, I had to cop this. £1.50, you know, from a charity shop. But yeah, I'm not someone who indulges in like horror and stuff like that, but occasionally there will be times I look for inspiration in different areas, but also that's discernment. Like if I know like I can't take this, like, I can't read this, I'm not gonna do it. But obviously because I studied it from a like literature side and stuff, I love it. So there's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and Mr. Hyde, The Body Snatcher, A Lodging for the Night, Mark Heim, Thrawn Jacket, The Misadventures of John Nicholson. So I'm on like page 2. I started it again yesterday, but I've been reading Girl A from like I'd say the middle of January 2023. I'm on like page the middle of January, on and off. So I'm on page 50. Today I'm gonna go home and try and read like 10 more pages. I just try and read also to get away from my phone and to give me inspiration as well. As someone who does media and wants to make things and content and just inspiration, I'm just looking for the next thing that can give me inspiration. Sometimes if I'm reading, I might just read like a lot. Like I also read, what was I reading? A book by Chimamanda Ngozi, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, and Hibiscus, Purple Hibiscus. I love that. I don't know where I put it because I had to hide my stuff from my brother. I don't know where I put that book. I love that book. But also with that, you know, it's a bit touchy because I am a Christian, and obviously the characters, the protagonists, as you could say in the book, they were trying to get in touch with their ancestral religion and all that stuff. I'm not saying that the book is bad, but it explores a time frame where it was like, come on, like move away from this type of mindset. And seeing that clash between her and her parents, the protagonist, that was interesting. Books are literally like film, but it just takes you away from that technological aspect. That's the only thing. It's you, that image in your head, you know, that kind of exchange. So yeah, I'd say that being on this degree has been amazing. Further education, amazing. I never thought that I'd build the relationships and network the way I have with certain people at my uni, just in general, really. There's been a lot of things that I've learned from other people who have found work in the most unique places. Being on media and communications, there's someone who actually works. He does like ad hoc freelance things. He's in the film project. Basically I just met him at uni, and yeah, like seeing how hard he works and stuff, that gave me inspiration. It's like, you can do this, Emmanuel. I mean, you haven't really had success so far in finding something, but that doesn't mean that the Lord isn't preparing a way for you when you get there. So yeah, so my plan is actually to go back into education. I will give you guys updates, and I'd say that obviously work and like study, but never doubt yourself, doubt your ability, and stop overthinking. I'm an overthinker, but yeah, never doubt yourself and your ability to do anything in life. Because when you start to doubt, when you start to say, oh, I could have done this, or like sometimes, I don't know, it's like you kind of put yourself in a bubble. And also, don't be in a competition with anyone. Study to show yourself approved is what the word says in the Bible. Like, I wanna be a servant to the Lord, to God. Like, Jesus Christ is my everything. Like, I want to give him my all. I want to serve him in ministry. So basically serve as in my service to God, the departments I'm in, you know, I'm in the social media department and all this stuff. I want to work hard for the Lord and also work hard in my life, meaning studying, excelling in whatever industry I'm in. I just want to be someone who works hard. I want to be that girl. That girl. Yeah. I want to be that girl. Because God has made me for a purpose. And that leads me to another point I was going to talk about in this. So, yeah, relating to what I wanted to study and stuff, I can remember having two prophecies from my pastor, my overseer, my teacher, my inspiration. Yeah, so Pastor David, these were like, I don't even think the first time that I got a prophecy and the first time that I got guidance from him about my life and just being a young woman, he was like to me, teaching is good. This was when I was confused about what I wanted to study. He was like, teaching is good, but the Lord wants to take you higher. And when he said that, I was always like, what does he mean? What does he mean? What does he mean? Teaching is good. Because I did want to go into teaching. He was like, it's good. And I was just thinking to myself, Lord, like, what is it? Like, what am I supposed to do? And as I've done this degree, it's like God is trying to expose that to me. He's like, what are you good with, Emanuela? What are you good with? And with the filmmaking, the history side of things, I've always been someone that's loved it. I've loved it. I've loved research. I've loved finding out information. And also being a black woman as well, like black history, black artistry, just being black in itself. There's just so much to show the world. Lord showed me. To show me the way. As I like do films like in my own spare time, I'm working on stuff. I'm doing it because, yeah, it's also a ministry to me. It's something that I want to do well and excel in, but not just because I want fame. Nah, I want to leave a legacy in this life. And yeah, that's just one of the things that he said to me. It's good, teaching is good, but the Lord wants to take you higher. And then when he said that, I was like, Lord, should I pursue media? What is it about this media industry? The industry that is so important to us. We use media a lot. We consume a lot of media. We make media in this society. Sorry, accent switch. We make a lot of things. We have the ability to make, create, but with that ability comes responsibility. And this gets into that topic of social media, peer pressure, misinformation of news, how much media is good for you, how long should you even be on social media, stuff like that. It's like I'm loving it. I'm loving this industry that I've found myself in, and I'm looking forward to what God has in store for me. Working at a news agency as well last year in August and September, that was amazing. It was like, so this is how things run behind the scene work, you know. That was interesting. Yeah, that was really interesting to see working. I was a journalist. I was a journalist for a bit. That was really good. I was calling people up. I was like, hiya, I've seen your story online. I'm with agency, and I was just reaching out. And I just wanted to have a call with you about your story, you know, and get to learn more from you. We've written stories for The Guardian, The Sun newspaper, and we just wanted to, you know, just discuss with you further about this. And there was one lady, she still messaged me today. She's like, oh, I just saw your text, like a text from like 4 months ago. It was just so weird. And I was just thinking, like, Lord, is this you? Like, is this, like, did I leave an impact on her in some way? She actually thought I was a journalist, like doing freelance work. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I came across like that way. And yeah, I got 3 things like published on the internet. Yeah, if you search my name like on Google or whatever search engine, you'll find some stuff. So that was a really interesting place to be at that time that I was there. But as a student, and obviously with my responsibilities as a carer, I haven't been able to work as much, but I was a teaching assistant throughout like my degree, and I just loved it. And I was a tutor as well, teaching assistant. I just loved being that person that guides someone else. Like, I've always liked that. I've always liked talking. I've always liked seeing how other people are, and what they like and what they dislike, and their approach to learning and stuff. So it's like I was in that same position as, you know, the children and stuff that I tutored, and being a teaching assistant and working with special needs children as well hits close to home, because of my own brother as well. And it's been beautiful, really, getting that insight. But I'd say that within that, it's like the hours to work and all that stuff, I couldn't really commit to that, but I still love that aspect of things. And I mean, being a filmmaker, being a teacher, they do kind of go hand in hand. You can teach film, you can teach, or not necessarily just teach, but you can inspire with film. Inspiration is teaching, it's learning. It just coincides, I guess. So yeah, that's just a bit about me. I hope that was useful. I hope I didn't just like ramble on, but I chose to do this degree because I'm choosing to explore what it is I am good at, what it is I can contribute to the world, what it is that about me that I can cultivate, help grow, help someone. So yeah, I hope that didn't sound too Grammy speechy or Oscar nomination speech like, but yeah, that's the kind of person I am. And I did say I love heels and all this other stuff, and like design and yeah, all that stuff. And today, surprisingly, because of this outfit, it's like a long dress. Yeah, so because of this outfit, I have decided to show you some of the collection, some of the things that I love. Well, one of them. So this shoe is what I'd actually wear with this. My toes are not looking great today, but this is a shoe I got from Simi. The dress is from Club L. It was gifted to me. Simi, they do amazing shoes. These are cute. Do you think so? Do you think these are cute or nah? Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I just love being expressive. I love expressing myself through the way I dress, stuff like that. I wouldn't say I love wearing glasses because my eyesight is not the best. I am minus 6.25 in one eye and minus 6.15 like another. I need to go back for an eye test. But yeah, I actually grew up saying to my parents that I did want to get glasses, and then I eventually did get glasses. I have astigmatism, myopia, short-sightedness and all that stuff, so sometimes I wear glasses, sometimes I don't, but I should always wear glasses. I actually should. But yeah, I've been rocking these Vans for a good minute. They were purchased at the beginning of the year and they already look like I've had them for 3 good years. Yeah, and if I was to skate with them, it would look like I had them for longer. But I actually sold my skateboards and I'm putting skating on a break. Focusing on my degree, but skating for me, I just like being that kind of outdoorsy person. Gym is great, gym is awesome, but I've always liked the idea of pushing your body to the limit. What can your body do? What is that thing that you can discover that you love? And I like to skateboard. When I got on my first skateboard, I fell. It was a penny board. I fell, and I hit my back. But as soon as I fell, I got right back up and I got on the board. And I was wearing tights. I don't know what I was doing, but that was amazing. And I mean, I can't do all the tricks. I still struggle with a kickflip, but I love it. And if you love something, grab it with open arms and just do it. Do it, because you can. As long as, you can afford it, it's not something that's gonna, I don't know, hurt someone else or be a violent practice, I guess. Do it. And yeah. Yeah. This video is actually tilted. I just clocked my phone because it's charging. It was tilted for the whole entire time. But yeah, I did my makeup today, guys, and I actually got brushes from a store called Poundland, the cheap store, and they actually did that. They kind of look like Real Techniques brushes, kind of. Where are they? Where's the large one? Okay, well, I can't find it. I can't find the large one, but it's this cute color. Cute. It's for the eyes and all that. Yeah, so that was a haul that I did yesterday. And then I got this cute notebook. It came with a blue pen, but that pen broke on my way to uni, on my way here. And I'm not happy, but yeah, I got this as well. And also this charger, I found a fast charger from that store. I found a fast charger there. Put it in our car, my family's car. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. My name is Emanuela, and yeah, it's about life. With me, you'll find out about my life, my faith, and what it means to live every moment with passion, with joy, with excitement. That's what you're gonna see on my page. Okay, bye. Oh, lol. So just to add this in here, this is shot a bit after my video, but my second prophecy from my pastor was that he can see me in international conferences with international people. He can see me at grand places, at places where I can talk, and I can talk with people that are prominent people. And when I heard that, I was like, Lord, amen, I received that. Yes, Lord, let that be my destiny, because I like to talk. I could talk. Listen, I can talk a storm. Yeah, so when I heard that testimony, I was just really, really happy. I was just so happy to hear that from him. And that's just the Spirit working through him, guiding me as well. That was in my second year, so I'd say 2022. So that was really awesome to hear, and I was just so happy. Oh no, sorry, not 2022, 2021. I still had my dreadlocks, and that's a whole topic for another day, guys. I had locks. Yeah, I did. But I guess as I'm going through what I'm going through as a young woman, and growing and flourishing, I guess I kind of just didn't want to follow through with the locks I did have. And I'd say that with just hairstyling and beauty and stuff, I've always been someone that just wants to embrace their natural self, be my authentic self. And at that point I thought that having locks was the way to go, and I didn't like the way that they were growing out, so I did take them out. This is not me forcing anyone to, I don't know if you don't want to do that, but that was what I wanted at that point in time. And I actually would want to get sister locks again, and I've been thinking about just doing what makes me happy, and I was even thinking of getting a bob. I used to grow up and like love bobs, but then along the lines I just went natural and forgot all about that side of things. But I might get braids actually, and I just want to just be happy with what I can do and all that stuff. And I mean, my hair has gotten thicker. I've always not had the most edges, but I've been oiling them a lot with Aunt Jackie's. It's like a pre-poo Aunt Jackie's oil avocado one. It's really, really good for me. And yeah, like, and I've been deep conditioning it a lot and all that stuff. And this is a hairpiece, and I mean, it's okay.
That ain't no problem. Huh? That ain't no problem.
It's okay. I mean, it's not the most hair, but I mean, I have hair, so that's great. Sorry, this is just more about insecurities and just general encouragement. Don't be your biggest critic. Don't. But yeah.